like, but because the information's out there, you gotta be careful of like the sharks that are in the water now. Because Kate actually shared something with the group that she saw in Lab Coat Agents, some attorney who was sending out letters to all of his past clients, and it got back to this realtor who she had used him as the attorney. He was going after all of his own past clients with a letter that said, "Oh, in light of everything that's going on with this lawsuit, I'm just letting you know, like, if you don't want to pay a realtor's fees, which are hefty and blah, 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 I'm taking on 5 to 6 new clients that blah, 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 blah."
You're
Like,
kidding.
Yeah. So I'm going to touch on that because I think that's like,
oh my gosh.
Sure.
What a snake.
All right. And like, this woman's like, "Oh my God, like, this is the attorney I used in the transaction too, like the realtor." Like, what a fucking asshole.
Hey, welcome to the Real Estate Roundtable, where you will learn everything about real estate and everything. We're going to deliver on that. And the information is going to be delivered to you on a silver plate. My name is Robert Masoudpour, and with the Atlanta Communities, Masoudpour Real Estate Atlanta Communities here in Atlanta, Georgia. And as always, I am accompanied by my fantastic, remarkable, knowledgeable, and well-informed brethren, Eric Berman. How are you, Eric?
Well, I am from New York, but
right.
I do have a fond opinion of Atlanta. So thank you for having me.
Do you?
I do. That's where my friend Robert's from, of course. I've actually never been to Atlanta before, though.
I think you'll be very, very, very happy if you come over here. You'll be surprised what a cool city it is.
All right, you're gonna have to give me the tour.
Absolutely. We'll go see the sights and sounds for sure. It's really a cool town. I think I made the right decision moving down here, and I've already been down here for almost 30 years. Can you believe that?
Wow,
crazy.
It's pretty wild. You were Maryland before that?
That's almost as long as you've been alive.
It more or less, yeah. And I'm gonna be 39 in January.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And do you have any plans for your 40th?
You know, figuring on at some point I'll be 41.
True.
I'm not a big birthday person. I don't really like.
Oh, you're not?
It's no. It's like, it's cool. Like I'm definitely excited to eventually turn 40. I know like a lot of people dread that, but I think it's cool.
No,
I can't wait to be 70 or 80.
40 is pretty cool age to turn for sure. It's cool, and because you basically are a elder state guy. You know, you don't care about shit anymore, right? You're 40 years old. You like screw everything else. You know, so and it's your middle age. You know, so I think I like turning 40 for sure. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. I like 26 too. 26 was cool because I had friends that were like 18 years old, and I had friends that were like my father's age, and it was just like, all right, this is really different.
True. Yeah, you're right.
Because it's like I'm still kind of a kid, but not a kid. But like I can hang with the adults if they'll have me.
You're in that middle purgatory of adulthood, childhood thing for sure, and you can drink, so that's good.
Yeah. God knows I waited until God knows I waited until I was 26 to drink.
No, absolutely not. No. But you're not much of a drinker.
I've been known to knock a couple back.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Eric.
Yes.
In today's episode, we will be covering this week's hot topics in real estate, and we're going to go over just briefly. We're going to go over DOJ versus NAR lawsuit, a legal battle brewing for sure, and who knows where it's going to end. Then we're going to cover the all cash transactions gain traction amid high mortgage rates. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it sure is.
And then this one's going to be cool. Top cities where home prices are still climbing.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the market was crashing though, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we're going to finish off with the 2024 best places to retire in the U.S. And I think you'll be surprised what's on the top 5.
Yeah, I took a little peek at that. I was definitely surprised.
So let's talk about the legal battle brewing between the Department of Justice and the National Association of Realtors. The DOJ obviously is investigating NAR for possible antitrust lawsuit violations, and specifically relating to its rules on commission rates and pocket listings. And a couple of weeks ago, we got one jury's ruling where they ruled against NAR and some of the top brokerages that are part of NAR, like KW and a few others. And there's another lawsuit brewing in Illinois where it's dragging in some smaller brokerages, relatively smaller brokerages, like Weichert and those guys. And this one, if the judgment passes against NAR, is going to be even higher, much higher restitution than the one in Kansas a couple of weeks ago.
Man, I can't even keep up with all these lawsuits. Like seriously, like I'm losing count because you have how many copycat on the buyer's side commission issue. Now there's people coming out of the woodworks suing agents for inflating purchase prices, which is not much that we can do about the fact that there's low supply and that causes more demand, which pushes up the price. It's, I mean, simple economics. We're getting blamed for that, and all these other people coming out of the woodworks. It's not even to say, and I hope I don't sound dismissive, because I do think that there is a lot to be said, and I support a lot of these issues that the people are having with realtors. But like, when is enough? Yeah,
absolutely. And that's the thing. You know, I have my own opinions on how the first trial went and how NAR didn't, in my opinion, didn't do enough to protect themselves and us realtors. And I've expressed my opinion in the last podcast. But I agree with you. When is it going to end? What's the end game here?
Exactly.
And I think the end game is, I hope I'm wrong, but to destroy the real estate industry as we know it. And I think that's not only obviously hurting realtors and real estate agents, but also the biggest impact is going to be on the consumers, buyers and sellers, especially the buyers. So I think that's going to be the unintended consequence of what they're doing. I mean, NAR is the second biggest lobbying organization in the U.S. So right behind the Teachers Association.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
and equally ineffective.
Yeah, exactly. But I think the unintended consequences, if NAR falls apart, and if this judgment against buyers commission goes through, is going to hurt the buyers the most, for sure.
Yeah, I wish that the end goal was clear. But what it seems like, in my opinion, it's really just for the attorneys to get paid. This isn't about justice. This isn't about changing standards. The way that it's getting rolled out, you're asking for so much money that you're going to wipe out all these brokerages, and like the majority of the major brokerages, and those are the ones that are, for the most part, doing things the right way. It's
Exactly.
usually the little small ones that don't have HR departments that you have to worry about because they don't care. They're going to have to fly by the little like fly by night companies where they're here one week, they're gone the next. Like they don't care if they do things wrong. So you're coming after all these large companies. You're just looking for all these big bucks. Who's going to get paid? The consumer. They're going to get $15 a head, and the attorneys are going to make billions of dollars.
35 to 40% of the end judgment, for sure. Yeah. Isn't that true with any class action lawsuit, though? I mean, I think the class action lawsuit, the one that benefits the most are the attorneys.
I think in these larger, I had heard this recently, that in these larger class action lawsuits, I think they make around 10%. But still, when we're talking about billions, and granted, they have a lot of people working for them, they have huge teams that have to get paid. But like, is it in the name of justice, or is this just in sharks smelling blood in the water?
Yeah. But I think one thing that's missing here is that, and the media is not covering, is the lack of consumer opinion on the issue. I think, and we were talking about this before the podcast started. I think if you're not involved in some aspect with the real estate industry, you really don't know anything about it and don't really care anything about it until you become involved. The American public is not fixated on charges and how real estate brokers get their fees, really.
I wonder though, because and if you're watching this and you are paying attention to this, comment below. Let us know what you think about everything that's going on. But I just went on an appointment the other night, and the wife was asking me, she's like, well, what do you think this is going to mean? So that's at least one person. I mean, I told you my honest opinion. I don't think, as of right now, it doesn't mean anything because the dust hasn't settled. The billions that they're saying is owed is not written in stone yet, and NAR still has a chance to appeal. But what I do think comes out of this is misinformation. So I kind of hinted at this story to you earlier, where now you have these people that are looking to take advantage. So I just saw Kate, who we both know, a realtor in Nashville, Tennessee, told me about this, where there was an attorney who sent out letters recently to all of his past clients and was saying basically, hey, if you've worked with a realtor in the past few years, you might have overpaid, blah, 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 blah. If you want to sell your home and you don't want to have to deal with paying for a realtor, I'm looking to take on 5 to 6 new clients, and you can work with me and you're not going to have to pay anything. Right? So like, what's great is that one of his past clients reached out to him and sent it to the realtor that they had used, because this was the attorney that the realtor had referred to the client. She's like, can you believe this scumbag? Like, and this is just
talk about ambulance chaser, huh? Holy shit.
And it's like, yeah, there's shady people in the real estate business, but you're trying to highlight something that may have been caused by shady real estate agents by being a shady attorney. Like, shame on you, since we're going to use the sound shit a lot right now. But this is some bullshit, if you ask me, when you see something like that. And I think that, yeah, you're going to have people that are going to ask you questions. There's going to be people that are going to be informed, misinformed. And it's just our job to be able to explain as well as we can what we do know about how this impacts the consumer.
But I think right now, the market we're in, and I'm sure you're in the same market as I am here in Atlanta, there's such limited inventory, and with the interest rates being so high, I think the buyers they don't care about the commission thing. They just want to get themselves into a house. They just want to buy that home. They will take any help they can get to get themselves and their family into a home and secure a home. So we still have very limited inventory out there. And I was talking to one of my buyers. I was doing a buyer's consultation last night, and they didn't care about the lawsuit. They just wanted me to tell them how they're going to be able to buy that house. That's it. I was like, okay,
that makes sense.
That's what I'm here
and
for.
That's why, and that's why it's so important that we do share this, because I could just see like that unscrupulous agent who's just like sneaks something in or doesn't let the consumer know what they need to know, because sometimes there's people that's how they shop. There's people that are going to look through every detail with a fine-tooth comb, and there's some people that are just like, help me get through this, I don't want it, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that's just how some people are.
I think, like we said, I think this controversy is just between the government attorneys, lawyers, and the media, and not the home buyers or home sellers, which is ultimately, who this is going to hurt if the end game is what the government is expecting. So, but now my blood pressure's up, man. Now my blood pressure's up. Jesus. Let's move on to something better. So, hey, Eric, all cash transactions are at an all-time high because of the high mortgage rates. So there are a lot of more people coming to the table with cash instead of getting financing done, getting financing to buy their home. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so I mean, we're seeing it in our market for sure. Like I see it in the transactions I do. I know Redfin had come out with a survey and some data that they reported last April, where they said that it was like a third of home purchases were all cash now, which is pretty wild. I think now I just saw a study that came out recently that it was up to like 34%, and it's going up, it's going up, it's going up, and then in
Absolutely.
Manhattan, I think in the third quarter, there was a record high of 64.5% of deals that were done were cash deals, which is absolutely insane.
Oh my
But
gosh, really?
but yeah, I mean, because you think about a lot of the people that are buying these condos in Manhattan, it's not their first home. It may just be a apartment that they're getting. They might be getting their pied a terre that they're using part time. So these are people with money. So instead of taking out some crazy mortgage or even borrowing against their own finances, they're saying to heck with it and just paying cash.
Let's see. I have a little stat over here. You're right. 1/3 of U.S. home purchases was all cash in September. That's the highest share of all cash transactions recorded since 2014. So the past 9 years. But here's an interesting thing. So Cleveland, Ohio, had the highest share of all cash purchases in September, reaching 49.2% of all transactions. So almost 50% of all transactions were cash sales in Cleveland.
That makes sense because from what I've heard and I've seen, I have a friend that was trying to convince me to buy some investment properties there. So it's probably a lot of investors buying Cleveland right now. So that's probably why there's so many all cash deals. I'm just guessing, but
Yeah,
if I had to guess,
somebody's printing something in my printer. Probably my daughter. And then so West Palm Beach and Jacksonville followed up with 49 and 46.2% respectively. On the flip side, Oakland, California, and San Jose, California, as well as Seattle, posted the smallest share of all cash transactions with 18.2, and 20.3% respectively, which makes sense because those are areas that have the highest price homes. I imagine.
Yeah, San Jose, I think you need to make like 400,000 a year to be able to afford like the average price. I just saw that number a couple of weeks ago. I forget where, but it was over 400,000 a year to be able to afford just like the average price point.
I don't know how those people do
Wow.
it. It's crazy. My nephew lives in San Jose, and bless his heart. But he also brings a lot of cash, though.
Yeah, I would imagine if he's living there.
So, meanwhile, buyers offer bigger down payments to lessen the cost of monthly payments. In September, buyers were typically putting down 16% of median purchase price, amounting to $61,000, up 15% from a year earlier, which is not that much of a difference, but still, putting down 16% of the sales price. That's pretty good. And I think I contribute that to people having so much equity in their homes that they can take that equity out and put it towards the purchase of the next home.
Yeah, even I agree with that. And even I have for example, I have a first time home buyer right now who he put it off for a little bit because he wanted to just save up the extra. So that he could put higher down payment just so his monthly payments are lower because people are getting hammered right now.
Yeah, they are. The good news is, Eric, that the mortgage interest rates are down to below 8. 30-year fixed mortgage is approximately 7.8 now, which is better than what it was before. So that's a good thing. So let's talk about the top cities where home prices are still climbing. Many people are under the notion, because they hear these news reports about, oh my gosh, the sky's falling, the prices are falling. We're going to go into recession, and home prices are going to tank just like they did in 2008, 2009, which is far from the truth. And if they would stop listening and watching those news reports and actually consult with their realtor, they would know the truth about what's going on in the market. So the follow up on the conversation from last week about how real estate is and continues to be the best investment. A recent report shows that after a very slight dip in the second half of 2022, and I'm talking about slight, in home prices, they continue their appreciation month over month. So here are the cities where the home prices have appreciated or continue to appreciate. San Diego, California, with 1.7% appreciation. Seattle, 1.5% appreciation. Los Angeles and Miami shared the number 3 spot with 1.2% appreciation. Detroit and Las Vegas. This one surprised me. Detroit and Las Vegas, especially the Detroit part, 1.1% appreciation. And Denver, Boston, and my hometown, Atlanta, 1% appreciation. I don't see New York there, buddy.
But you know what? Queens is down month over month, like 1.8%. Long Island's still up. And if you look at specific neighborhoods, there's some neighborhoods that are still going up double digit. Like when we look at the macro, like a good sense, but like when you dive in, like there's still neighborhoods that are still very much on the rise. And these are more where I am, the more suburban neighborhoods. Like when you go into the metro areas, those are definitely not selling as quickly or at the price that the suburban homes are. What about in your area? Is that similar?
Well, Atlanta, downtown Atlanta, or Atlanta city limits have always been a hot spot, especially with the number of young people that move down there to be closer to work. So the prices down there are always appreciating. In the suburbs, we're still seeing appreciation, probably similar to what this report says. I would say probably higher than 1%, but between 1% and 2% for sure. I mean, we're getting so many people moving to Atlanta. It's incredible. And that's one. And I was going to do a video on what I hate about living in Atlanta. And I only hate one thing. Well, besides the heat in July and August, traffic. The amount of people that are moving down here and contributing to traffic is incredible. Now, when I first moved down here, Eric, there used to be a well-known fact that, hey, listen, from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock in the morning, yeah, you're going to hit traffic. And then from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the evening, yes, you're going to hit traffic. But every other time after that or between time or before that, you're good to go. That's not true anymore. You can drive down 75 or 85 at any hour of the day, and you're going to definitely expect to sit in traffic somewhere, for at least 5 minutes. That's the lowest.
Yeah, at least it's not LA where you're getting stuck in traffic at like 10 p.m.
Oh yeah. Well, that happened to us the other day when we were coming back from a concert last Friday night. It was standstill on 75 coming north. It was crazy. So that's one thing that I have a gripe about Atlanta is the number of people that live here and the traffic. Now, I'm not saying don't move down here. Please do, and use me as your realtor. But I'm just saying, otherwise it's a great place. But yeah, so homes are continuing to appreciate here because of the low inventory. We just don't have enough inventory. I mean, that's the way it is. So that's why I think they're going to continue to appreciate until the supply and demand ratio balances. But according to Lawrence Yun, the NAR's chief economist, the U.S. sales will have declined 18% in 2023, but he is expecting a 15% increase in sales for 2024.
Yun knows that we don't know.
Well, and his reasoning was actually pretty good. He said that he's expecting the mortgage interest rates to fall between 6% and 7%, which will energize the spent-up sellers who've been sitting in the sidelines this year. That's why we've had such 18% decline in sales, and they're gonna begin listing their homes, their properties, and then Yoon also said that the lower interest rates will rejuvenate the buyers who will once again flock to the market when the spring real estate season begins in 2024. So, which I agree with. I think, like we discussed in past podcasts, I expect the rates to go down probably around 6 next year.
Well, I certainly hope so for the buyers' sake.
Exactly. But Eric, and I think one of our fellow realtors posted this on Instagram. What we're going to face then, once the rates fall, is the uptick in demand. So we're gonna see if once again the multi offer situations and the homes selling well over their asking price.
Yeah,
so
it's like,
buyers who are waiting for the rates to fall might be in for a rude awakening when they go and realize that the house they want, they have to put multiple bids on it, and the $300,000 house that they really want is going to sell for $350,000 or $360,000, like back in 2021, 2022. What do you think about that?
I think at that point, at this point now, which I try to tell people, you need to think, if you're the one that's waiting for the rates to come down, do you want to buy that house that would you call that, like a $300,000 house? Do you want to pay for the 8% rate at 300, or do you want to pay at a 6%, 6.5% rate for 375 over the course of that loan? Like, you have to actually do your homework and see which one makes more sense for you. Because if your plan is to just wait, you don't even know that the rates are definitely going to come down to 6%. So you do know that the prices are going to rise. And we definitely know that if the rates come down, everybody that's been waiting to buy a house is going to buy at the time. It's always how it works. And it's absolutely going to drive the price up. So, I mean, it's up to you, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. What do you want to do?
That's true. You're right.
It kind of makes you want to just retire and get out of this, right?
Yes. Can you do that?
I don't know. If I did, where would I go?
That's true. That's true. Where would you go? Hey, you come down to Atlanta.
I mean,
yeah,
it seems like a reasonable place, minus the traffic.
Yeah, but you can do what I do. I live in the suburbs, not to worry about it. I have my little cocoon here. 10-mile radius. That's all. Or go north.
I mean, if not Atlanta, though, where else might I retire?
Oh, that's right. What else would you do? I see what you're doing, buddy. I see what you're doing.
I'm trying to tee you up, man.
No, segue there. I got you. Sorry, I'm telling you that turkey, the Thanksgiving feast is killing me.
The tryptophan.
I'm like in a zone right now. Is that dog?
Yeah, we got the office dog.
Oh, okay. So, Eric, used to be a time when those who wanted to retire had their sights automatically set on Florida or Arizona. depending on what part of the country you were in. They were affectionately called snowbirds. Do you know what snowbirds are, Eric?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But no more, Eric. No more. Where do you think the top city to retire to in 2024 is? I teased this.
I mean, you're telling me it's not Florida, but
I teased this during our last podcast, and amazingly, Eric, most retirees are opting for northern states towards your area, your neck of the woods. Yeah, they're giving up they're giving up this sand and ocean for Allentown, Pennsylvania. That's the number one retirement place for 2024.
Allentown?
I guess
are they tearing all the factories down?
I guess Billy Joel has had an impact on them. According to U.S. News and World Report, Allentown is number one. Scranton, Pennsylvania is number two.
Okay, Michael Scott.
Dunder
Mifflin. This is random. All right, go on.
Number three is Lancaster, Pennsylvania, with the I love the Amish, man.
I love Lancaster. It's like one of the places I'll go to get away, but to retire there. What?
Yep.
There's only so many times you can go to the pretzel factories and twist up your own pretzels.
Yeah. Number four is Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and get this. Number six is New York City, New York. So you could be just staying there and retired.
I mean, yeah, everybody come retire in New York.
You have to go all the way down to number 8 spot to find a city in Florida as retirement city. As a city,
like Daytona Beach, right?
Daytona Beach, Florida, which is not where I would retire. If I were to retire in Florida, I would go on the West Coast, Tampa, and those places.
Yeah, I'm going to have to just go ahead and agree to disagree with this entire list. Like, none of this is, I mean, I wouldn't want to retire in any of these places. No way.
The survey was compiled by U.S. News and World Report, like I said, and their criteria was based on happiness of local residents, housing affordability, tax rates, and healthcare quality. So I guess they felt that Florida doesn't have good healthcare quality.
Oh,
I guess because of all the hurricanes, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, with all that like nice warm weather, I feel like that's going to keep you alive a lot better than some prednisone or whatever is going to.
Like 5 feet of snow in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Holy shit!
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so there you go. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Okay, we're gonna end with this, Eric. I don't know if you know about this, but I don't think I gave this to you.
I don't know about most things, so I'm
Eric,
probably gonna be surprised. Yeah.
What is this?
Looks like a duck of some sort. It's a very fancy duck. Maybe a duck who just made his communion.
A very fancy duck. This, Eric, is actually called a puteketeke. A puteketeke.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a. I brought this up because we're gonna be off next week to celebrate Thanksgiving with our families, and I want to give an homage to some kind of bird. So the puteketeke was crowned New Zealand's bird of the century yesterday. The water bird got more than 290,000 votes, more than 22 times the second place finisher, the nation's iconic kiwi bird. So there you have it, the puteketeke. I had to listen to Google pronounce it about 10 times before I was able to kind of get that.
You know what? Now let me see if I can find this really quick because I got all I could think of is Borat right now. There was this episode and he was like there was this guy with this fancy chicken, and he was like, "Why is him wearing that?" Let's see if I can find the clip. Oh, there we go. Perfect. 27 seconds. All right, let me just, since we I don't know if anybody cares, but
It's not gonna be his leotard, is he?
No.
Okay.
Nothing inappropriate. Just a little Borat. Can you see it?
No. Oh, hang on.
What?
There you go.
That thing?
It's a chicken.
Is that a real animal?
That's a chicken.
Check it out. Has you ever seen anything like that?
Yeah.
Look at it.
He's got feathers on his feet.
How come he was wearing that?
That's the way Mother Nature, that's the way his genes are.
Why is him wearing that?
Oh man, I love Sacha Cohen. Hey buddy, you're awesome.
You're awesome.
Thank you. This was really good. Really good. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a great Thanksgiving week. I think I'm going to take next week off.
I'm not. I'll take Thursday off.
When?
Thursday.
Oh, yeah. Well, you shouldn't do that. Why are you taking Thursday off?
So I could cook. Help my
Are you
mama
gonna-
cook.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving, by the way?
My parents' house.
Oh, yeah?
It's a small thing. Me and my parents, my sister, her family, her mother-in-law.
Doesn't sound so small.
It's like 8 of us.
And
What about you? What are you doing?
we're having a Thanksgiving here with my family. And I got one of my buddies coming over to celebrate with us. So being thankful with us. But I am thankful for you and for your friendship and for doing this podcast with me, buddy.
Well, thank you for having me, and I'm thankful for you, my friend.
It's pretty
And all
cool.
the blessings that have come from knowing you for, what have I known you for like 2 years now?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
That's half of your life.
Pretty much. Pretty much a youngin' like me.
Hey, buddy.
All right, dude.
I appreciate you. I'll have a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon.
All right. Have a good one. And goodbye, America.
Goodbye, America. See ya.